Good afternoon. Thanks for joining me today as I demonstrate therapy appointment for solo providers. My name is Denise Hoyt, and I am myself a mental health provider, and I've used therapy appointment since 2010 to manage both a large group practice as well as a solo practice. So my goal today is to show you through the features of therapy appointment that will assist you in managing your practice, saving you time so that you can do what you love. Now, one of the things that I do want from you today, as you're joining me, is to ask questions. So I'm going to go through some of the features, but I welcome questions during that time. So in order to ask a question, just look at your Zoom toolbar. And that Zoom toolbar is typically located at the bottom of your screen. It could be at the top, depending on your device. And if you look at that toolbar, you'll see a Q&A icon on that screen. Just click on that, and that will allow you to type in a question. Because we are in webinar format today, it doesn't allow us for me to hear your questions audibly, unfortunately. But we'll be able to answer all those questions as we go through. And my goal is to keep you here only for about 40 minutes. So we will go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen with you here, and I'm going to log into therapy appointment into the account of an owner. Now, I'm showing you an owner account. This could be the owner of a solo practice or a large group practice. In this case, they're a group practice, but the visuals are the same. And I use this because if someone does have a question about a group practice feature, I'm happy to answer that for you. So our dashboard screen, this is kind of the state of what I need to do and take care of. You're able to see an agenda view of today's appointments. I can see their telehealth because they have the little camera icon next to them. I can see appointments that I have on the books for patients that they haven't yet confirmed they're coming. So therapy appointment in our appointment reminders, which are free, by the way. Those appointment reminders you can ask patients to confirm. And if they haven't done so, then they'll be on this list so I look at this, and if that appointment's coming up like tomorrow and they haven't confirmed yet, I will probably give that client a call just to make sure that they're coming. I have quite a bit of charting that I need to finish up here in this account. I have some charts for individuals as well as group sessions that I had. And then I'm also supervising someone in my practice, so I have a chart to review that they have finished on a client. Okay. This also lets me know of some expiring treatment plans in case you need to track that in your system. And it also lets me know of any insurance problems on your clients if you're billing insurance and therapy appointment. Over here on the top right, this is a list of new clients that if I've just entered into the system and I haven't seen them for a first session yet. So what that means is I can click right on that account and name, and I can go take a look at their profile to see if they've completed the documents and forms in the intake process yet or not, if they've updated their profile for me. Or insurance, or it could be that I'm doing that, and those are just fields I still need to complete. Now, where most of us spend our time in therapy appointment is the schedule. And our schedule, you'll notice, is rather colorful, and it's colorful for a reason. So in therapy appointment, this translucent background color here, that is about my availability to see clients. And my availability is two different colors because I'm seeing clients in two different locations. And so you have the ability to allow patients to self-schedule if you'd like to set that up. It's a feature we have in therapy appointment, but we'll have that defaulted to no when you get set up because we know that not everybody's comfortable with this. So this background color is about can clients schedule into a time during that in that area, and or if I have someone scheduling on my behalf, like an administrator, that allows them to see when I'm usually in the office. But I myself could put a patient on a schedule, even if it's not in my availability time. So if I need to put a patient on a schedule on a weekend or a late night or early morning, I can certainly make that happen. Now, you'll notice that when the patients are on the schedule, we have a lot of different colors here. So well, how this works is that the colors indicate where the patient is at in the process. So I have my patients from today, Robert and Wendy, who are blue in color because I haven't yet done anything on those sessions to tell the system that they attended. I haven't taken a payment. I haven't started charting this session yet. Whereas the green ones that I have on my schedule before today, I have already completed all of that on those patients. And then these were insurance sessions, and Mr. Redmond was a private pay session. I can also import personal calendar into therapy appointment. You'll notice here in red, it's showing up. I have a Google Calendar that I've imported. You can also import Outlook and iCal, but I can have that show or not show, but it's just an overlay of my personal view on top of my therapy appointment calendar. So that's real helpful to see what I've got coming up, or if I need to block a time off to not be able to schedule into that time. Okay. All right, so the calendar view is where most of us spend our time, at least myself as a clinician, and I have a view of a month, week, or day view. In a calendar, I can maneuver, forward and back here, a week at a time, month at a time, day at a time, and always get back to today. Also, Therapy Appointment offers drag and drop scheduling. So let's say, for example, that Robert called and he needed to change his appointment to later today. I could just drop that, drag it wherever I need to on the schedule in order to reschedule that appointment time. Okay. So in order to schedule an appointment, all I have to do is click into an appointment slot. Okay. Search for the patient's first or last name by typing in a couple of letters. Let's see, we'll have Brooks here, and I'll just hit create. I can also make this a telehealth session by clicking a box, and I can add details. So if I hit create, that's just what I call just a quick add. It's putting it on my schedule. I didn't put this in as a telehealth session, and it defaulted to what I had scheduled Bobby for previously, which was a 90847 as a CPT code. So let's add a patient that I have a little more information on. So I searched for RED. I have several patients that would fit that in here. So I'm going to choose red, and I'm going to go ahead and add details. So what this allows me to do is set up maybe a different session length and repeating appointments. So I could set appointments, every X number of weeks or days, months, and those appointments can end after, let's say, 4 occurrences or through a certain date. And we're going to check your schedule to see if you have any conflicts. And also I could make those telehealth sessions, and I could set those up for a typical CPT code. I see him for like maybe a 90847. And if I saw him as typically telehealth, I could change this to an O2 for telehealth. Okay, so that way I have kind of preset all that up for me in the system. So we'll just click save. Now this is going to take me to back to my schedule, and I can see here is my schedule for the day. Okay. All right, so let's talk next about appointment reminders. So appointment reminders can go out to patients, either text message, email, or automated phone call. And in Therapy Appointment, all you have to do is set up appointment reminders in the patient profile once. So I'm going to go here for Mr. Redmond, and I am sending an email to him at this email address 1 day in advance of his appointment. And I'm sending a text message reminder to this phone number 1 day in advance of his appointment. So if I'd like to reconfigure that, maybe I'd like it to be a voicemail reminder, and that should go out 2 days in advance. And I would like him to confirm appointments. So I can click save. And so I'll just set that up once. Now, what we do is we take care of the rest. Just make sure that your patient is on the schedule, and we look at your schedule every night. So we look at your schedule every night to see who should get an appointment reminder tomorrow morning. So for example, Wednesday night, we would have looked at the schedule, and if Red and Bobby and Robert and Wendy were supposed to get appointment reminders 1 day in advance, those reminders would have went out around 9 a.m. in the morning. So that happens automatically. Nothing you need to do but set up the profile once on that patient. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about patient self-scheduling here. And let's go in as a patient. So patient self-scheduling is a feature that Therapy Appointment offers. It's all included in a subscription price. And how you set those features up is under your profile. So this is where you're able to set up rules for your client portal settings and if patients can schedule online or not, and if new clients can register without ever talking to you first. So all these rules about how soon patients can cancel or schedule appointments are listed here. So you get to set that up for your practice. Additionally, you'll have a link where you can link your patient portal to your own website. So I'm showing you a sample website of a fictitious provider here. And on her website, she put a button that says click here or schedule it to register or schedule a session. And so if someone's looking at her website, they could just click. And if they haven't seen the therapist before, she's allowing them to register. So what that means is they can go through putting in all their demographic information, even getting some forms you might need them to read and sign without talking to you, and even go ahead and schedule a session if you want. Or this is just a place where a client who's already registered in the portal can log into their account. So you can have that right on your own website. You can even log into your own therapy appointment login through your own patient portal. Okay, so let me go back here and we'll take a look at patient self-scheduling. So I'm actually going to log out here from being the therapist, and I'm going to log in as this patient, Wendy. So Wendy is just logged in, and this is the patient portal. She can see her appointments today. She has a teletherapy session ready to join, so she would have gotten a reminder about that to her personal email, and the link would be included there. But also a patient can log into the portal and start that session. So if the patient were going to start that teletherapy session, they're going to click launch. And if the therapist hasn't joined yet, they're going to go right into the waiting room. So when the therapist joins, then they'll be connected. So currently in Therapy Appointment, we integrate with a company called C3 now. But in just a couple of short weeks, I'm really happy to announce that Therapy Appointment is actually going to be integrated with Zoom for healthcare. So you have all those great features you're used to having in Zoom with screen share, chat messages, all of that, and multiple for group therapy. So we're excited to be able to be offering to that our clients here in the early part of December. Okay, so let's say this client wants to reschedule an appointment. So she has an appointment on December 7th and she decides she can't make that, so she's going to cancel it. And we ask her to put in a reason. She has to be out of town. Okay, so she's going to cancel that appointment. So as a therapist, you just got notified to your personal email about that cancellation. And she decides she'd like to schedule a new appointment. So she's going to take a look here and say schedule new appointment. And since I offered 2 locations, she's choosing the location she'd like to see me at. And then she wants to take a look at what we have available here on that week of the 7th. So she's going to search, and here are some opportunities for appointments. And she's going to take this 2 o'clock on Wednesday. And since I'm offering teletherapy, I also am offering for patients to self-schedule this as a teletherapy session if they prefer. And so I'll say yes and schedule that appointment. Okay, so now that appointment has been rescheduled and the therapist got notified of that, and it automatically changes on a therapist schedule. Okay. While we're in the patient portal, I'd like to take a look at secure messages. So in this patient portal, you have the ability, or the client has the ability, and you have the ability to send and receive messages, secure messages, portal to portal. And so this therapist, or this patient, would like to compose a message to their therapist. So you can allow that or disallow that. But you have they can type the subject. We'll just say Happy Thanksgiving. Hope it's a safe holiday for you. I cannot spell while I am talking at the same time, so here we go. And I could even include an attachment I needed to send my therapist. Maybe they'd ask me for a copy of my insurance card or divorce decree or custody agreement, something like that, that I need to send over them. So I could just click attachment and choose that file from my device. And then I'll just send. You'll notice that we're warning clients that this should not be used for emergency purposes, right? So I just sent that off. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to log out of here and I'm going to log in as the therapist again. Okay, so the therapist, not only do they get a notification to their personal email that they have a message waiting, but when they log into Therapy Appointment, they have a message, unread message counter here. So all I have to do is click on their inbox, and here's that inbox, and they can read that message that Wendy just sent. So if I click on it, I then can read the message. I can reply back to Wendy through here, and my replies, I can include attachments as well. Okay. If I delete this draft, one of the things you have for any client who sends you information here is maybe I'd like to document that in the patient's clinical record. Maybe it's something that I just feel is that salient. So all I have to do is click create chart note, and it's going to take that and put it into the clinical record. But we're logging these into the patient's account automatically anyway. So if I go to my client Wendy, and I'm just going to go find her from my schedule because I know she's on this schedule today. I'm just going to click on her name here, and I'm going to go to messages. So every single message that Wendy and I have had are going to be logged in here. So I can read it. I'll see any attachments that we had included in there. So it's all logged in regardless, but it's not part of the patient clinical record here. So it's very handy. I don't have to go digging through my inbox to find those messages that a patient sent me 2 weeks ago. I can just go to their messages tab and find that. We talked about teletherapy a little bit from the client perspective. Let's talk about it from the therapist perspective. So when I have a teletherapy session, I know that because I have this little camera icon listed right here. And if I can click right on that patient's name on my schedule and then go up here where it says teletherapy sessions ready to begin. I'm not going to click on it because bad things happen if I double screen share 2 Zooms at the same time. So I won't click on it, but it would just join you right in there into Zoom. Now, when additionally, if I'd like to be in another view, this is an agenda view of your schedule that day. So this is great if you have a patient in your room looking over your shoulder. So I can actually just go ahead and click on their initials here and click join session. Okay. And then I can also be in my dashboard screen, and I'll see that I have the session with Wendy and we have that teletherapy session right now. I can launch it from here. So many places that you can start that appointment with a patient in Therapy Appointment, depending on your situation. Right. Now let's talk about another feature of Therapy Appointment, and that is the patient paperless onboarding process. So when I have a new client in Therapy Appointment, I can simply say add new client. And let's say I'm talking to them on the phone. So I'm putting in their basic demographic information here, asking for their phone number, email address, their date of birth, and their gender. And then I'm clicking this checkbox here to say send portal invitation. Okay. And we ask for date of birth because that's one way we verify, the patient verifies their account. So if I click on that, then also I have these documents that I'm going to be auto-assigning in the patient portal. Additionally, the patient portal is going to be behaving the way that I have set up in my client portal settings. For example, I want the ability here for the client to complete a biographical information form and receive and sign documents and ask about insurance coverage. So I have set some of these rules up that I'd like the patient to be able to take care of. So let me bring over, this is a patient who just registered. So when they land in Therapy Appointment, they have their own dashboard screen. And it has a list of items that they can take care of here, such as, hey, we'd like you to complete your biography, view and sign client documents, provide your insurance information. So they can click right here to take care of that. They can also take care of it right from the side menu. So if they go to my profile, they can update their phone numbers, addresses, that sort of thing. They can go ahead and answer this biographical questionnaire. Now, this biographical questionnaire is a questionnaire that's pre-built for you in TherapyAppointment, and you can add some additional questions to it. So you can use our biographical questionnaire, or you can turn it off and you could create your own unique questionnaire that you'd like to give to clients. But this one's a pretty, I think it's really an excellent one, especially for adult clients. It's going to ask for those symptoms checklists, treatment they've had in the past, family growing up and childhood experiences, who's in the household now, relationship history, education, occupation, home life, and health. Okay. And additional questions here that you might want to add to that form. So when a patient saves that, then it becomes a document that you're going to see on your end in TherapyAppointment. Additionally, their Docs and Forms tab. So this is where there's questionnaires you might have given them they need to fill out, like a PHQ-9 or other items, read, sign, and form consent forms. So they can do all of that from here. So we'll just click on this. Here's an example of a form so a patient can, choose their choices. Go down to the bottom and say send form to provider. And then if you take insurance, you can ask patients to tell you about their insurance so they can tell you if they have insurance or not. And then it's going to ask them to put in all that insurance information from their card, along with anything else they'd like to tell you about their plan. Okay, so that's what it's like from the patient portal and for them to do that paperless onboarding process. So let's go take a look at a client that I have has done a lot of that for me already. We'll go to Miss Brooks here, click on her account. So if I take a look, her profile is completed with her name and addresses. Okay. Additionally, the Docs and Forms section, we have assigned some of those docs and forms. I can see here they've not started them. So I would see three statuses: not started, started, or completed. And if it's completed, then I can take a look at it and review all their answers. And maybe I really didn't want to send a form to a client. I can delete it out of there. I had some other forms I had that we call these flat forms. They're basically not interactive. It's basically read and clients can sign. So I can see when they've read that and when they've signed it if I've asked for a signature. And again, I can unassign forms. Also, if they complete that biographical information form, it's going to be listed right down here. So they can complete it as many times as they need to, but here it is, their answers to that form. So I have that available to me to take a look at before the first session even happens. Okay. All right, so we've got the patient onboarded and that intake done. So now it's time to see the patient. So let's talk first a little bit about insurance. So if you are going to be billing insurance, TherapyAppointment can electronically create those claims, submit them, track them, and even bring that claim information back in when insurance pays you and make that a totally automated process. So all that needs to happen, and we walk you through this during setup, is we say choose your insurance companies that you're going to be billing. So you have them there. You can just find them by clicking new, and let's say that you're looking for Blue Cross of Illinois. I'm just going to type Illinois in here, and that's going to bring up a whole bunch of plans. I have an Illinois in their name, and I could just then say select, and then that's in my profile ready for me to create claims against. The second thing that happens is in my clients, all I need to do is make sure that that client's insurance profile is completed. So every client's profile has an insurance tab, and I can see here that we have their policy information. We're billing Cigna, group information, and I can see what the CPT code is if they have co-insurance or what their usual copay is. So there's like a worksheet here that you can complete. So those are the two items that you need to have in place in order to bill insurance and TherapyAppointment. Set it up once, and then all you do is put the patient on a schedule. So we're a schedule-centric program, meaning that All functions happen because they're on the schedule. So that's why reminders go out. That's how the notes are written. That's how the claims are created, is because the patient's on your schedule. So let's click on Robert here, and I'm just going to say start charting. And the reason I'm going to say start charting is because when you write your note and finish it, we'll ensure you have a claim created for that patient if this was a billable service and insurance was in place. In other words, we won't create a claim for a no-show. So this is a progress note format that I had created on this patient, is a HIPAA note in this case, which is a typical progress note. It's auto-filling for me today from what I said about the patient last time in these header fields. So I can update those today. I can select the service I'm providing the patient or just confirm. So we did telehealth. We have 90837 we're billing TRICARE. I already have my diagnosis populating in. So I just need to write a brief summary of the session, blah, 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 blah. Right. If I'd like to view my treatment plan, I can click on it because I had previously created a plan of treatment on a patient. I can update when that treatment plan should be reviewed again, and I can include my private notes here, your wonderings and musings. Notes in this section will not be included in a records request by default. So include or not include the treatment plan today, and then hit continue. So this gives me a view of my note. If I like it, I can save it. And so what it says is that chart note was locked successfully. A claim was automatically generated but not submitted. Okay. So I just go through my day and see patients, and then go ahead and write those notes. So let me, we'll do another one. I'll go to Mr. Redmond here. Okay. And then we're going to do another chart form. So if I click start charting here, I'm just going to choose another chart note. This is assessment type note. So you have different chart note formats that you can create in TherapyAppointment. We have created for you an assessment note, and then any chart template you'd like to create for your group or for your use are going to be available here. So you can create your own templates. Okay. So this is a much longer, more assessment style note. So this is going to go through subjective or what the patient reports to you. So there's drop-down menus here, okay, to choose from. And if you don't see a menu item, you could put in other, and you could then create your own menu item there and further describe. So you have subjective, objective, which is going to be that patient's mental status. You'll see that's auto-filling in for me today because I had previously documented this note on a patient. And then my diagnosis, problems list, virtues and support system assessment, risk assessment for suicide, homicide, substance abuse, and details that you can write pages on if you need to. Then this is also the place where you can set up your treatment plan for a patient using this assessment type note. So I've set up individual and group therapy for this patient. We're doing DBT here as an approach, and emotional skills training as group, frequency of treatment. And then I have set up my treatment goals for this patient. Patient will reduce anxiety symptoms, plans for achievement, progress, prognosis, future priority, medication, all those private notes. So this is a much longer note, right? And so let's review that one. And then I can finalize and lock it. All right, and we have a question. Let me take a look at that real quick. So we have a question from Jason. It says, in your clinical note, can you add fields that are specific to a practice? So you can create any note format that you'd like to utilize. As of today, like that SOAP note that we offer and the HIPAA note that we offer, the fields that are there are what you have available. But our chart notes are getting a revamp here, should be by the first quarter of 2021, so that like if you want to use that SOAP note, you want to take that, you can basically make your own drop downs, make them be what you want, add fields. So that's coming in 2021 for our notes for that perspective. Okay, thanks for that question. Okay, so I've been writing my notes, right? So at the end of the day, and I haven't finished all my notes yet, but at any time, I can go over to my billing and insurance screen. So as I created those notes, I have claims waiting for submission. And right now I have 2 claims waiting for submission. And if I click now, then I can see those claims. I have one on Henry from yesterday and on Robert from today that I just wrote. The other patient I wrote on today was a private pay session, so it wasn't creating a note. So we are, I can review these claims before they go out if I want to. When we have an edit screen, if you need to edit fields like a CPT code or modifier, you can do that before the claim goes out. But typically, all I need to do is hit submit now, choose my claims. Let's say I don't want to send this claim out, but I want to send the other one. We'll hit submit claims, and that's taken care of. Now, we always bring you warnings here. So I have some claims that are ready to print. In other words, I have an insurance company that I'm not submitting to electronically for some reason, but instead I'm going to print those claims on paper and mail them in. And then I'm also warned that I have some claims that I submitted that are over 45 days old. So you can see all of your submitted claims right here. So we would call these unpaid claims, right? So these are all my unpaid claims that have yet to be paid by the insurance companies. And when insurance does pay me, then I can take a look here because you can have the explanation of benefits that comes in electronically. That's called an ERA file. So that explanation of benefits can come in electronically. So I can take a look at a list of all the payments I've gotten in. So this is payments that have come in here for about the past 6 weeks, it looks like. So I can see that Cigna paid most recently. So if I click on that, I can get to that explanation of benefits. And let me give you an example of that. So this can automatically come into Therapy Appointment from your insurance companies. It'll tell you the total amount they paid you in this check, and then every line item that they paid you on. So for client Mary, you billed $908.37, they paid $45 and adjusted off $90 for contracted rate. So they'll go and list all that for you. And then if you had any line items here that we saw that insurance did not pay, okay, they denied your claim, we highlight those here with a little warning. So check boxes mean we updated your patient's accounting with that payment for that data service. It's all done. Red means it's a warning. And we put those red warnings right here on your claims pipeline. Okay. So right on your billing and insurance page, anything that you need to take care of, we're gonna flag it for you. You can just click and read that, take care of it, and dismiss the warning. And then so that billing and insurance screen is really, I say it's a workhorse here for you as far as the business side of things, okay? So I always know where my claims are at in process and kind of what's outstanding in claims. If there's any rejected claims from insurances, those will come back here and I can work those, okay? So write your note, send your claim, payment comes in, auto updates for you. All you have to do is pay attention to those ones that we're warning you about if that's the case. Okay, so that is how all that works really simply. Now you can update your system manually with payments from insurance companies as well, but that automated process just is really the bread and butter. It doesn't cost anything extra. It's a service that's included in your Therapy Appointment subscription. So last but not least, let's talk about reporting. So I call this for any practice, it's show me the money, because we are in a business here. So that's what I know, that we are givers and helpers. And I think that sometimes we forget that we are in a business. So you do need some tools to help you manage your business. Most of us want to know how much money are we making, but also accounts receivable, insurance reimbursement reports. Those are all important as well. So income reports, if I click on this, this is going to give me a look at my income for a year. I can change that. Maybe I want to see what I've made month to date so far, so I can filter that out. I can see totals that's come in, what of that came in from insurance companies versus patients, and of patients who paid, what came in by cash, check, credit cards, how many services we provided under each of the different service types here. So you have lots of great reporting tools at your disposal in Therapy Appointment. All of them can be downloaded, printed, exported, Excel spreadsheets, PDF files, all those different file types. Now, as I come here, I'm reminded that I didn't talk about how to take a payment from a patient. And since we're schedule centric, it's just as simple as when we were checking a patient in, like on Wendy here or any of the patients, I can say accept payment. So for Wendy, it says she owes $25 and she has a $25 copay from Blue Cross. So that's what I need to collect from her today. So I collected $25. She paid me by credit card. And Therapy Appointment offers integrated credit card processing. So we can keep cards on file, even multiple cards on file, and you can process cards right from within your account. Additionally, patients can pay right from the patient portal. So here, if I'm in my office and I have the card swiper, I can have the patient, put their card in, for example, or swipe their card, chip it or swipe it, or I can say, let's use that card on file that I already have. I have her dad's card on file here. So I'm just going to click use this card. And now I have taken payment. And because I haven't written my note yet, Wendy turns orange to indicate I've taken payment, but I haven't yet completed the note. Okay. So we integrate our partner in credit card processing is International Bank Card. And what they offer our customers is a 2.89% flat rate fee and 10 cents per transaction. And that's for any payment type. So it doesn't matter if that is a card present or a card not present, like a stored card, a patient paying online, or you manually entering a card. It's all the same rate and only a 10-cent transaction fee. Plus free equipment, plus International Bank Card's also running a special where they will pay for a year's worth of teletherapy for you in Therapy Appointment as well. So they're offering some great benefits to our customers right now, and we're happy to have them as a partner. So we've taken you through the basics of Therapy Appointment. Just a couple things I want to point out about the company, and because I see a question from John about that, about pricing. So let me tell you about Therapy Appointment pricing. So Therapy Appointment's usual subscription price is $59 a month. That does not include telehealth. And that does not include the 19 cents per electronic claim filed. But those are the only two other extra fees that you pay at Therapy Appointment. Okay, so $59 a month. However, when you start your free trial, you get your first month free, and you can use all the features in that. You even get your first month of teletherapy free. Okay, so start it free, and then you so you can send out reminders, you can do everything you need to in that free time. And then in that first free month, if you only schedule 10 or fewer sessions, then your next month is just going to be $10. She'll be at our discounted, what we call getting started rate, 10 or fewer appointments a month. So if you're new to private practice, you may not be coming over with many clients. So once you're scheduling more than 10 but fewer than 40, then we'll move you to the discounted gearing up rate of $39. And then once you've got a more established practice of 40 sessions a month or more, then you'll move to our usual rate of $59. Okay, so that's how we love to support therapists new to private practice. So free month, and then only $10 a month while you're getting situated in your practice and starting to grow that. And hopefully you're there pretty quick. We're kind of banking on that for you. Okay, but otherwise, all the features in Therapy Appointment are the same no matter what type you're using. So click any of these start free trial buttons. You're going to start free month, and we'll just move you accordingly as you move through the system. So only other fees, again, if you want to use a telehealth, it's $10 a month. If you are submitting claims electronically, it's 19 cents a claim. Okay. Let's talk a little bit here in Therapy Appointment about the company. So Therapy Appointment has been around to the public since 2008. And it was developed by Dr. Bill Whitehead. And he was not only an excellent psychologist, but also a computer programmer. So we call Therapy Appointment started out as being his virtual assistant. And so then he thought, maybe others can utilize this. So Therapy Appointment went, to being the nationally known company that it is today. So you're looking at, the second generation of Therapy Appointment that I showed you through. What we developed in 2008 was good and great. And we were one of the first softwares on the cloud for mental health providers. But we learned that old platform just couldn't be updated the way we wanted to. So in 2018, we built on an all new platform in order to offer you those customizable forms and all those special features that you're seeing, like the paperless onboarding for patients. So all those templates are there for you in Therapy Appointment to utilize and provide to your patients. So we're a great company. We have great customer service. You have our claims team behind you. You have our customer support agents behind you. And our claims agents have been mental health billers that have used Therapy Appointment in their own businesses. So they're behind you all the way. So let's talk about how you access support in Therapy Appointment. So when you're in Therapy Appointment, you have a little question mark in the right-hand corner. And if you click on that, not only does that get you to our help articles, but you can also access support and claims help right from here. And then additionally, if you go at the top and click Help Center or go to our website, you will get to our support page. And this is where you can contact support through here. You can set up some one-on-one training. You can schedule a call back from our support team in order to help you out. So many different ways, and you have different help articles all logged in here as well. Okay. So I really welcome any other questions that you have. I know it's getting ready to start a weekend and hope you have a great weekend. Oh, one other question. Yes, does Therapy Appointment have an app? So the answer to that is I will send you an email today. Thanks for joining. And it has instructions about how to put that app on your phone or your tablet. So it's not an app you're going to go download from the iTunes store or anything like that, but instructions on how to put that on your tablet. And then additionally, let's imagine that this page right here, I'm looking at it on a small cell phone and it's in landscape mode. So if I were imagining that, everything on here is going to look pretty tiny, right? But that's not how it works. So if you're on a small phone, what's going to happen is everything's going to collapse so that it moves over, so everything becomes large enough so that you can swipe through, click on things with your fingers, manage getting to different sections. So everything that you can do on a desktop, you can do from a mobile device very simply in Therapy Appointment. So thanks for asking that question, John. All right. Thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. I hope you have a safe weekend and a safe holiday. It's getting bad out there, so be careful. Have a good one. Bye-bye.